you. Good morning, YouTube and the internet. I don't know how I'm going to put this footage together yet, so I don't know what I've just shown you. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop with the block. I've pulled out number 1. I can see nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with number 1 as far as the big end or the little end on the pistons down there. Nothing wrong with the rings. There's no witness marks. There's no damage of any sort. So what I decided I'm going to do is pull out the buckets from the head and see if there's anything under these that might be incriminating, and see if I can find out what that knock was. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Intake side, exhaust side. You. I do have spares, but I don't want to do that. Slippery little bastard. Okay, there's no visual signs of anything down there or on the lifters themselves. Exhaust side. So another surprise from the car, they're all solid lifters. I helped, at least I'm pretty sure they're solid. They look pretty bloody solid. You know, and knowing that means I could probably eliminate the head as the source of the noise. But I see nothing wrong with the valves from the top side. I see nothing wrong with them from the bottom side. Nothing odd like I can depress them with my hand or anything, indicating a broken valve spring or weak one. There's no evidence of any damage in the head whatsoever, so the head's good. Let's close that. Alright, well, I suppose we go over to the block and play with that. Good evening, YouTube and the internets. And I'm down in the garage, which is not heated, so I feel the cold. I assume you're aware, because I assume I would have filmed and edited this in something like the real sequence. There's nothing wrong with any of the bearings in that block. There's no reason for the knock. There's a new theory. It's not the valves, because I think it would be a different sound, but I can't write that off. The variable cam timing can make that sound, apparently, or it can make a similar sound. I've seen videos of SR20s making a similar sort of sound. It was different, but you know, it's a different size head and other variables there, so it's fair to assume that the sound it would make would be slightly different. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is pull out the variable cam timing unit and see if I can see any damage in there. If I can, then, well, I suppose I have to assume that that was the problem, and it changes nothing, the engine's already apart anyway. If I can't, then I've got to dismantle this head. Now these cams have come out, and I've just located them here and put the caps on just to retain everything nice and neatly, retain all the hardware so I don't lose it. But what I'm going to have to do is take them out to get the valves out and that's going to be the next job after that. So let's get this VCT out and have a look and see if there's anything obvious there. All good? Okay. Okay, so we've got 27mm spanner on here. Hopefully, oh, that's easy. Now I've never pulled this off, or one of these, and I'm not sure what I'm going to find in here. Nothing in there. Are there gears or anything in there? There isn't. How can that possibly make a noise? I thought this might mesh with a gear or something that's in the head, but there isn't anything. I wonder how that even works. How that adjusts the timing. Oh, okay, it must just read the oil pressure spikes as the hole in the can comes past for the timing, and then adjust it as the ECU sees fit. I'm not sure. Got a torch? So looking in there, there's nothing. It's literally just feeding oil into this as a sensor. That's how it works. So there's nothing in there that could possibly make that noise. There's nothing mechanical. I need to have it off. I don't want to lose it. There's about many torques, which is not a lot. I put away all the hardware in that box. I'm just now wipe down the cans with the rag and just give them a blast with air. The rag is to get any excess oil and there's coolant that's been spilled. And this makes sure.
The blue one, right? Oh yeah, exactly.
So now that's all clean and relatively dry. And, well, really only relatively clean, but clean enough. Clean enough to store, not clean enough to reassemble. Some cling wrap. Just to stop any of the machine surfaces from being exposed to any more air than they have to, and rusting. You can buy proper packing wrap. Proper packing wrap. That's much better, but this will do the job. Shit. Grab me my claw. I love that tool. We're going to pull out the valve springs, the lot. And what I have here is a cheap eBay spec valvey thingo jobby tool. I think that's the technical name. Valvey thingo jobby tool. And it's quite simple. Screws on like this. And I'll just set it up very roughly, very quickly. Give you an idea. Probably designed to fit most 4-cylinder engines. Yep. We'll go to there. Bloody cheap Chinese eBay stuff. God damn it, magnet. Thank you. That one on there. Now I won't do any of it up because I'm just going to show you how it's done. The bar goes in here, goes in there, whichever hole you require. This part of the tool, this pin over there goes on here. Hook that on there, that there. You pull down, depresses the valve. If you come in closer, when you do that, you can pull off the collets which are down there, which are what retain the valves, and let it up gently. Everything should just come up gently with it and you should be fine. And you can also do this on the engine. So what's going to happen when I undo these, the valve's going to go with it. So I've got to put a bit of wood or something under there to stop the valve from depressing too far. If it's on the car, or it's just on the block so it seals, you would insert this into whichever bore you're doing, so we're doing number 2, apply compressed air. So when you pull the plunger down, what will happen is the compressed air will keep the valves up and off you go. But I've got it out of the car, so I'll just put a piece of wood under there so it doesn't damage the end of the valves, although it's on a rag on timber anyway, so it shouldn't hurt it. It's a bit half-assed, but it's working just fine. I've done a couple of tests here. I've got a rag under here. I tried depressing it into the timber. It's too far, so I've used a bit of rag underneath it to push against. Once I get this set. Okay, so I get it like that, and then I'm just putting a bit of pressure on it to sort of stuff it, hold it against the rag, and pop, up they come. So the valve pushes into the rag a little bit, and then when the pressure gets too much, it just pops back out. Just to show you how it's done. So Ty here is going to have the little pick ready, and once I release it, he's going to just pick them free, pick the collets free. Then he's going to shove the magnet down there and grab them out. Make sure that's centered well enough. Go, they're free. Got one. Going to pick the other one out again with the pick. He's got to realise that doing the same thing over and over again is not going to work. There we go. So that's that. We put our collets straight into a bag, a retainer, or cap, or whatever else it may be called, straight into a bag, and a valve spring straight into a bag. These valve springs are fairly new, so I'm not worried about them being, you know, mixed up and put back in. They're not going to have any different tension from one side or the other. So let's do another one just quickly to show you. We've got to push the head down onto the rag. There we go. That's it. Very good. And with some practice, you'll be able to do it first go. Flick those collets off. It takes a couple of goes to get used to how they come off. With this kit I can't do the whole head in one position, so I'm going to do these 4. I'm going to turn the head around and do the other 4. Then I'll undo this, move it to the other end, do the last 2 pistons. Just knock the valves out. Well, we can knock that one out. This one doesn't seem to want to come out. Little carbon, it's just a bit tight. It shouldn't be. Pass me another valve, please. Okay, so the valve guide is fine. There's something on the valve itself. Seems to be a tiny little nick in it from something. Nothing major, but yeah, a little bit unusual. It's certainly not what was causing the noise. And on that noise, on the knock, what do you think it was? Because it's got me buggered. It's nothing. It's nothing that could have been without clearancing all the bearings and making sure that there wasn't enough play to make that noise but not enough to damage the bearings, which is highly unlikely. Which I will do though, I will measure the clearances. So tell me in the comments below what you think it was, and I'm going to continue on this head, strimming it down, and thinking about whether or not I rebuild this as a stock engine, continue to make it around the 440 wheel horsepower mark, in the same tune, same boost levels, and the same everything, or go buy some 4Gs, slam them in, and aim for something like 550 wheel horsepower on 28 pounds of boost, 30 pounds of boost, something like that. They're the options. One's a lot cheaper than the other, but the other one's a lot more fun. It's only money, right?